Bank manager called 911 on black man, then found out he owned the entire bank. The polished marble floors of First Unity Bank gleamed under the morning sun, reflecting the hurried steps of tellers and the quiet murmurs of customers. Marcus Ellison, a 38-year-old black man in a charcoal suit, stepped through the glass doors, his briefcase swinging lightly at his side. His presence commanded attention not because of arrogance, but because of the quiet confidence that came from years of proving himself in rooms where he was often the only one who looked like him. Today was no different, or so he thought. Marcus approached the counter, offering a warm smile to the teller, a young woman named Sarah. "Good morning. I need to access the executive account for Ellison Enterprises," he said, sliding his ID and a business card across the counter. Sarah glanced at the card, her fingers hesitating. The name Ellison rang a bell, but she couldn't place it. She nodded politely and began typing, her eyes darting nervously toward the manager's office. Enter Karen Whitaker, the bank's manager of 5 years, a woman whose crisp blazer and tight bun mirrored her rigid approach to protocol. Karen had been watching Marcus from her office, her lips pursed. Something about him, his suit too sharp, his demeanor too assured, set her on edge. She'd seen trouble before, or so she told herself. When Sarah buzzed her for approval, Karen strode out, her heels clicking like a metronome. "Excuse me, sir," Karen said, her voice clipped. "We'll need additional verification. This account is highly sensitive." Marcus raised an eyebrow, his smile fading but his tone steady. "I've provided my ID and business card. I'm the account holder. What else do you need?" Karen's eyes narrowed. "We have procedures. I'm sure you understand." The lobby grew quieter. Customers glanced over, sensing the shift in tone. Marcus leaned forward, his voice low but firm. "I've been banking here for a decade. My company's name is on your quarterly reports. Check the system." Karen's face flushed. She didn't check. Instead, she reached for her phone, dialing 911. "Yes, I'd like to report a suspicious individual attempting to access a restricted account," she said, loud enough for everyone to hear. Gasps rippled through the lobby. Sarah froze, her hands hovering over the keyboard. Marcus's jaw tightened, but he didn't move. He'd been here before, profiled, questioned, doubted. But this was new. The humiliation burned, yet he stood taller, refusing to let it break him. "You're making a mistake," he said, his voice a quiet thunder. The minutes dragged on, thick with tension. Customers whispered, some pulling out phones to record. Karen stood defiant, clutching her phone like a shield. Then, the glass doors swung open, and in walked an unexpected figure. Clara Thompson, a retired teller who'd worked at the bank for 30 years. Clara, a sprightly 70-year-old with silver hair and a no-nonsense glare, wasn't supposed to be there. She'd come to pick up a forgotten scarf but now stood frozen, taking in the scene. "Karen Whitaker, what in God's name are you doing?" Clara's voice cut through the lobby like a knife. Heads turned. Karen blinked, caught off guard. "Clara, this doesn't concern you. I'm handling a security issue." Clara scoffed, marching toward the counter. "Security issue? That's Marcus Ellison, you fool. He owns this bank." The words landed like a grenade. Karen's phone slipped slightly in her hand. Sarah gasped, her fingers flying to the keyboard, pulling up the account details she should have checked earlier. There it was, Marcus Ellison, CEO of Ellison Enterprises, sole owner of First Unity Bank since its acquisition 2 years ago. The lobby erupted in murmurs. Karen's face drained of color. I didn't know," she stammered. Marcus could have unleashed his fury. He could have fired Karen on the spot, humiliated her as she'd done to him. But he didn't. Instead, he looked at her, his eyes heavy with something deeper than anger disappointment. "You didn't know because you didn't look," he said. "You saw me and decided who I was before I opened my mouth." Clara stepped closer, her voice softer now. "I've seen this bank serve folks of every color, every walk of life. Marcus, you built this place into something better. Don't let this break you." Her words weren't just for him. They were for everyone watching, a reminder of the bank's legacy and Marcus's quiet fight to uphold it. The police arrived moments later, 2 officers stepping cautiously into the lobby. Marcus raised a hand, calm but authoritative. "There's no issue here, just a misunderstanding." The officers glanced at Karen, then at the crowd, sensing the shift. They left without incident, but the weight of the moment lingered. Karen sank into a chair, her hands trembling. Marcus could have walked away, but he didn't. He sat across from her, his voice steady. "I don't want your job, Karen. I want you to learn. This Bank Me Bank exists to lift people up, not tear them down. You're part of that now, whether you like it or not." Karen nodded, tears welling. It wasn't forgiveness, not yet, but it was a chance. The lobby slowly returned to life. Customers approached Marcus, some apologizing, others shaking his hand. Sarah, still shaken, whispered, "I should have spoken up. I'm sorry." Marcus smiled faintly. "You will next time." Clara lingered, her scarf forgotten, watching Marcus with pride. She'd seen the bank through decades of change, but this moment felt different, a turning point. As Marcus left, he paused at the suggestion box, noticing the handwritten note. A story of prejudice, truth, and redemption. He didn't know who'd written it, but it felt right. Outside, the sun was higher, the city alive with possibility. Marcus had faced the worst of humanity that morning, but he'd also seen its potential for growth. He'd keep fighting, not just for himself, but for everyone who'd ever been judged before they could speak. The incident spread online, videos capturing the confrontation, Clara's outburst, and Marcus's grace. It sparked conversations about race, power, and accountability. Some defended Karen's caution, others condemned her prejudice. But Marcus's response, his refusal to destroy her, his choice to teach, shifted the narrative. It wasn't just a story of conflict. It was a story of hope. What would you do in Karen's shoes or Marcus's? Share your thoughts on justice, prejudice, and the power of second chances.